those who don't know, in the NBA, in order for you to meet regular season awards, the criteria, you have to play in at least 65 out of the 82 games, which is like, I think like 80%, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody do the math. How much percent is that? I'm not sure. And it's funny because people, once again, they moved the bar because at first, when this was around, when it first became a 65 game rule, everybody was in support of it.
That's a
Like,
fact.
yeah, like, because at the time, people was talking about guys who were, what do you call it? What do they call it? Low managing. And there was a lot of complaints around low managing. There was a lot of cranks around, guys not playing, superstars not playing.
Mm-hmm.
And now they moved the criteria to 65, and now it's like it seems like the popular opinion is that now it's time to get rid of the 65. I was never a fan of the 65 game for the record. I always thought it should be like 62. Like 65 seemed a bit, just a tad bit high. 62 was like, I thought 62 was solid. But I'm really not mad at 65. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just thought the contrary was that in the past, guys would be playing 40 or 50 games and then be up for all NBA teams. And they play half the season their numbers would be better because they only play half the games versus somebody who played 70, 68, 72 games. So that's a big difference. So because of that is why I feel like it was needed. Because you can't have dudes playing 45, 50 games and winning first team All NBA.
I agree.
Like, you
I agree.
basically came to work half the time and then got rewarded for it.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Jaylen Brown cooked. Jaylen Brown, you cooked, doggy. You cooked. Y'all, we gotta agree. Because it was a lot of players. It was a lot of players, and I don't gotta name their names. Y'all know the names. That was low managing and getting awards and wasn't playing even half the season. And that's not fair. But I do think it's situations like Cade Cunningham with the collapsed lung, that's a totally different situation. That's a totally different situation. I feel like those games he missed because of a collapsed lung should not count towards the 65 game minimum because a collapsed lung is not like a sprained ankle or an ACL or a wrist, hand. It's not nothing like that. Same thing if somebody was to have a heart problem. I think last year when Wemby had he had those blood clot issues or something like that. Some kept Wemby out and set him out for the rest of the season last year. Things like that of that nature, I feel like should be excluded. Like you should be excluded from the 65 game rule. Those games you missed because of internal matters, heart, collapsed lungs, shit like that. I feel like should have a different standard. It should get a pass. I do. I really think things like that should get a pass. But I don't think we all should say abandon the 65 game rule now. I do think, like Jaylen Brown said, it could have been like 60 games or something like that. But still, y'all, we all celebrated it last year because we was tired of motherfuckers low managing and getting awards. So we can't do that, y'all. We cannot do that now because it's not working. Because certain players that we like had certain injuries that we can't do that now. No, we can't do that, chat.